David Dennis. You remember David Dennis just did a recent video on him when he made the absurd claim that Caitlin Clark is not a top four guard in the WNBA. And not only that, he was dismissive of anyone who might dare to think that it's possible, basically saying it is not even a conversation that Caitlin Clark, the reigning player of the month in the Eastern Conference, fourth in MVP voting last year, all team, all first team WNBA. Sorry, rookie year. She was hurt last year. Not even a conversation of being a top four core. Of course, David is a hardcore everything with like David is the ultimate racial activist. That's his entire existence. Everything is seen through that lens. He's not very bright. He's on ESPN or for other reasons. He ruined, around the horn. I didn't do so well with pardon the interruption, but I don't want to keep going into that. Just a reminder in case you didn't see that video of who we're talking about. And so as a follow-up, Stacy Dales, a former player who I believe, if I remember correctly and looking into her, I believe she was actually even made the All-Star team as a rookie, if I remember correctly. Had a good career. She had some things to say about this, and hopefully, if I remember, you'll see an image that I'll put up on this screen by me so you can see some facial expressions while Stacy is talking and basically putting little David in his place. So we're going to take a listen to some of the things that Stacy had to say. By the way, appreciate y'all being here. Of course, do me a quick favor, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Help me grow, help YouTube, help me help YouTube put the video out to other people. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, it's quite a topic, isn't it, these days, Jess? Hello, David. I will just say this. We have to be very careful about how we look at player voting when it comes to the All-Star vote, right? They comprise 25% of the vote, the media 25%, the fans 50%. Now, of a pool of 180 roster players, you've got 85 of them voting, so it's a small sample size.
Sorry, I just wanted to say real quick, think about that because I did a video, some things Candace Parker said, and they made it seem less, and so I didn't mention it in there because I started questioning myself, but 25% of the vote going to players who are clearly up in their feels and not voting properly, they might wanna reconsider. They might wanna dial that back a little bit.
So you have players, for instance, guys that are voting for, hey, my teammate, my buddy, I can vote for my entire roster, the team I play on. But I do think you certainly have a pool of players who take this thing seriously. And while some may not take it seriously, it is a small sample size. You see 11th with Caitlin Clark, and it is insulting. It is preposterous to consider she would be even deemed worthy of or unworthy of being in a conversation of the 11th best guard in the WNBA. And frankly, to further the discourse, to consider the fact that some believe that she's not even worthy of being in the top four or being a starter amongst these all-star players is to me foolishness because
I gotta now keep in mind, she's talking to David Dennis, who said she is not a top 4 guard and said, "It's not even a conversation that we can be having. It's so obvious she's not a top 4 guard." Of course, David didn't bring anything but his feels. He didn't give any reasons. He didn't break down why he would say that, the way I break down all the time why she is one of the best players in the WNBA, and I talk about all those things. And guess what? Little David, little Dennis, the menace, Stacy's gonna get let you know some of those things as well.
because you have to look at the basketball. You have to break down the tape. But it tells me, are you watching the entire game? There's a lot of great players in this league. I could talk to you guys for hours about them. Caitlin Clark is exceptional. She is extraordinary. She is elite. She is incredibly difficult to defend. She plays on extraordinary angles, both with and without the basketball. And she is very unpredictable, I would tell you, defensively. Her ability to consistently hit anywhere from a 25 to a 30-foot jump shot from behind the arc, which is roughly 22 and change, is consistent. And even when she's out there and she's, getting all this defensive attention, in her face attention, she still has to use that gather step to create space. And she still makes those shots. And what's really challenging, I would say to you guys from watching it, is she's hard to blitz, she's hard to double team, she's as good a passer as she is a scorer. And so it makes her a menace to defend. And that's why you see a lot of the contact. That's why, frankly, egos come into play. You ain't getting got by Caitlin Clark when you step in between those lines. And it makes her also very difficult to officiate. So there's a lot of layers to this. This is a damn good basketball player. Yeah, it's quite.
Lots of layers, Dennis, layers you never address, layers you don't seem to understand. And I just want to follow up and add to some of the things Stacy said and just make it as plain as can be. Because of everything she does, because of the skill, physical and mental, because I will say this flat out, Caitlin Clark is the smartest basketball player by far in the WNBA. They hate that too. They're going to say what I just said is racist. When Caitlin Clark steps on a court, the other four players on her team are all of a sudden better automatically just by stepping onto the court with what she brings. Stacy talked about the 25 to 30-foot shots. That completely changes how a defense guards a team. It creates a lot of space. It creates matchup nightmares. Think about this for those who like to say she's not a very good shooter. They don't leave her alone though, do they? They don't let her shoot wide open threes, even from way downtown, do they? No, they're constantly getting into her landing space, aren't they? Yes, they are. They don't do that with a lot of other players. They do that with Caitlin Clark. If she can't shoot, why are you so desperate to get a hand in her face and get in her landing space when she's releasing a ball from 30 feet out? She can put you on a yo-yo. She can get to the rim. She is absolutely the greatest passer the league has ever seen. And yet, we all know Stephanie White is trying to take that away. Let me ask you something. Think back. Yes, I'm going to bring it up again. Well, I won't even say post-Olympic. They just happen to be more of them. Even pre-Olympic, you just had more drops and missed layups. But especially post-Olympic break in 2024, all those full court passes Caitlin was dropping, right? When her teammates figured it out and they caught on and they're running the court as soon as a rebound happens, or heck, even on a made basket, because that's just how damn good she is. When's the last time you've seen one of those? Have you seen those this year? How often does Caitlin Clark throw that pass? Hell, the damn Indiana Fever, previous to last game, actually took a shot at Caitlin Clark in her three keys to the game, and I can't remember the exact wording now, but one of them was basically like, "We want to be safe with our passes." It was basically a shot at Caitlin Clark. We don't want any of these long, high risk passes. They are absolutely trying to destroy her. But once again, Stacy, like all the Caitlin Clark fans, come with receipts and come with basketball knowledge and are able to break things down and say, this is why this is. People like Dennis don't have that. They emote. It's all he has is his feels. It's all he has is his emotion about, well, Caitlin is these boxes. Therefore, I hate Caitlin. Therefore, I'm going to trash Caitlin. That's all they got. Stacy said, now again, please, mister, remember to have put this up so people can see the facial expressions. There were a lot of clips. This was ESPN, and they were showing clips of Caitlin and this and that. So I wasn't putting this on screen because I'd get it all done, and then YouTube would be like, nope, can't do it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Truly appreciate it. I will talk to you later.